It does not matter where you are at right now inside of life, you can create a totally new reality for yourself. And in this video, I'm gonna share with you what I did, what I've been doing over the last 8 years to manifest more love in my life, better finances and success in my life, how I've been able to get healthy with my mind and my body, and just what exactly I have been working on with myself. And I have two main things in this video to share with you. The first one is about letting go and things I had to let go of to get to where I'm at in my business and my career with my family, my wife and my son. And the second part of this is gonna be at the end, and I'm gonna share with you also what I did along with letting go to really just, like I said, create a whole new life for myself. If you feel like you're stuck with your life purpose, you're stuck, maybe you're in school, you're not in school, you're at a job you hate, maybe you're trying to grow online with videos, or it doesn't really matter at all where you're at, but this is gonna be a video series where I'm gonna be sharing with you, I guess, more intimately about what I have been through over the last 8 years. And I'm gonna kind of go in order of the last 8 years, order of my life. And I'm gonna be sharing personal stories, but also tangible, grounded things that you can do that I have done that have made the biggest difference in my life, how I was able to attract my soulmate, start a family, move to Texas, be I guess, a solid consultant. Hopefully I'll be growing that in the next few years, very much more so. But I just want to help people with this series. I want to help people by sharing what I've been through, my low points going through college, being very shy, low energy, feeling stuck. I was very depressed. I had a lot of anxiety all the time. Couldn't talk to girls, couldn't be social, didn't know how to lead relationships, and didn't know how to lead my own life. And just learning over the last 8 years, unlearning many things about the world, unlearning from what I learned in school, relearning the truth about many things I believe is the truth, and it's all kind of subjective, but there are certain truths I believe out there. There's certain principles of this universe that if we begin to understand like how this reality works, how we are energetic beings, we live in an energetic reality. We are beings of light. We are beings of, you know, magnetic beings and also electric beings. Is what we have, both aspects of this. So lots to cover in this series. Definitely subscribe so you don't miss any of the content. And let's just jump right into where I was about 8 years ago. I was at Penn State University, big college, and I had a lot of low energy. I was staying up late every night, 1, 2 in the morning, sleeping in 8 hours, sleeping until about 10 a.m., so 8 hours of sleep. I was always tired. I had brain fog. I was just living the same life on autopilot. Lots of partying, lots of, frozen foods, pretty bad diet, pasteurized milk every night, using the microwave, drinking tap water, all the alcohol from my college days. I'm gonna probably throw in some pictures here of just maybe some photos of me in college, and I was just very different, and I didn't understand all the anxiety that I had. I thought it was normal. I thought that this anxiety and just me always worrying about things and being insecure, I thought it was normal. And I would try to talk to girls, try to meet people in social settings, social scenes at bars, and in college you have these different frats and sororities, and I was just really not able to have any success. And a couple of health problems happened to me. I had this big lump on my face the one year. I had a biopsy on it. It was like the size of a golf ball, just really swollen right here. Did a biopsy for that. They said it was a benign tumor. I'm like, okay, so why do I have this? They're like, we don't know. They couldn't even fix that. I just had to, over time it went away, I guess, on its own. A couple other things happened. I got into a car accident when I was at school. There's one night where I was playing Fortnite. So I used to love playing Fortnite with my roommates in college. We had this apartment and we would just play a lot of Fortnite. We'd drink some beer, smoke some weed, get on the game system. And there's one night I was playing Fortnite, and we were playing online with some friends, and I was just normal night, just we had a few drinks, had probably some junk food, some pizza, whatever, and I felt myself getting lightheaded while I was playing the video game, and I kind of just was playing through it. And next thing I knew, I was on the ground, out of my chair, like I had fallen out of my chair. I hit my head on the table. I had this big bump on my forehead, and my roommate's next to me. He watched me pass out while I was playing video games, and I get up and I'm like, what just happened? And his face is like, dude, holy shit, like, what, are you all right? And I was like, I don't really know. I guess I just passed out. That was the first time I ever passed out in my life. And it happened a few more times where I just had these like panic slash anxiety attacks. And this is when I'm 22 years old. This is 8 years ago. And I'm just thinking like, this is not normal. I mean, and the thing was, I looked kind of like how I look now. Like I looked thin and healthy and I guess decent, decent muscle. And I was like, from the outside, I felt like I seemed from the outside physically like I'm in good shape, but it was really internally. It was on my insides. It was not good. And so I went to the doctor once again. I said, hey, I just passed out a couple times. What's going on? They did stool samples and I think they took blood samples from me and all these different things all these different tests they did. And I remember there was really no end result. There was no solution. There was no one told me and said, hey, Trevor, your lifestyle sucks. You got to improve your diet. You got to stop with the partying. You have to watch what you're consuming. No more, no porn. Watch the videos. Watch all this, all the bad music and all the things you're watching. You have to limit all this, and things will improve. No one told me that. And I left the doctor after they did these tests. They said I'm healthy. They said they're not really sure what's going on. They said, it could be ulcerative colitis or other things. And what I realized on my own was that I had this thing called leaky gut. And from all the alcohol, all of my bad lifestyle choices, my gut lining, my microbiome was out of whack. And it was causing me to have a lot of issues, a lot of anxiety, I guess it affected my brain too. That's why I passed out, because I think what happened was I had some really bad food one night and I think all the blood like rushed to my stomach or something. And it was really wonky. And so when I discovered I had this thing called leaky gut, that was the first thing I began to research. And I began to just look online. I began to realize that, like holistic health, what this means is that our body, our mind, our soul, our spirit, it's all connected. So the food we eat, the things we watch on TV, people around us, our lifestyle choices, alcohol, drugs, all these things, it's all holistic, and it's all like one big web that makes up us and our experience here on earth. So really what I began to do at this point, this is the very, very beginning of my journey. So I'll be sharing a lot of episodes on this video series. I'll be going into different topics, quantum physics, subconscious mind, like just some more advanced stuff down the road. But the first thing I did was I realized I had to let go of a lot of my lifestyle habits and behaviors. This was the very first thing I did. So I let go of a lot of things: alcohol, video games, porn, junk food and processed food, soda, sports betting, my home state of Pennsylvania. I moved across the country a couple years later, but I let go of my home state where I used to live, friends I outgrew in my life, people in my life who didn't understand me, who weren't growing like I was trying to grow, and just my old way I saw myself, my old identity. My identity was wrapped up in just kind of my past, going through school. I got pretty good grades and I was good at math my whole life. So I always saw myself as kind of a nerd. And that's kind of how I had my self-image for many years going through high school and college, was that I'm good at math. I get mostly A's. So I'm a nerd. So I'm shy. I'm quiet. I wear glasses. I had this whole thing in my head, this whole way I saw myself. And that had to change. So when it comes to raising your vibration, it's about letting go. It's not about buying this course or this supplement or taking this thing, or it's those can help maybe a little bit. It's really about letting go of what's holding us down. You see, I believe that we are naturally meant to be high vibe, or our natural state is meant to be, most of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, we're meant to be loving, we're meant to have compassion and be laughing, be with people we love around us, be with nature, eating foods from nature, eating real foods from the earth. And we've lost our way on this planet. And this was a big wake-up call for me, because after college, when this was all happening to me, I was doing the research, I was learning about leaky gut, what I had going on with myself, I was learning all these things. My mind was being blown, and it was scary because people around me, my high school and college friends, and my family around me, all these people had no idea what I was learning, what I was going through, and how my mind was being just blown. And at first I thought it was like a dream. I thought I was like, it just was really trippy for a number of weeks. I was just like, really what I was learning about how the media and governments and everything is connected. Everything, like, the world is how it is for a reason. Like, okay, there's things happening that have been happening on this planet that are really like messed up, and it's hopefully going to be ending soon with a lot of like trafficking and those kind of things. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but there's a lot of dark rabbit holes. Okay, and when you come across this and people around you don't understand it, it's tough. It makes you feel like you are super alone, that you just feel really lost. You feel like maybe you're going crazy. Maybe this is not true. Maybe you're just kind of like losing it. But no, this is the process of going through a spiritual awakening. And 8 years ago, I think it was different. I think now people are really, this is really taking this great awakening is really hitting like the next level, which is really exciting. It's really a great time to be alive on this planet. We have a lot to look forward to, but at the same time, we have a lot of work to do. And so as I was letting go of these things, I let go of a lot of these habits, like I was saying, lifestyle choices. And what began to happen was I had a lot of emotions come up in my body from the past and just from my childhood. I guess for the first time, like, felt a lot of stuck emotions in my body that were in there, because I stopped like with all the drinking and alcohol, and I stopped partying, and I was finally able to face a lot of my past. I remember when my parents dropped me off in New York City after college. I had my full-time job, started in Manhattan, and remember they dropped me off and I had my little studio apartment. And I remember when they left and I was all alone I was all alone in my apartment, kind of for the first time. It was a new apartment for me. I started crying my eyes out. I started just bawling, and I didn't really know why. I just started crying, and I think I told my parents, I was like, listen, like, thank you. Like, I'm so grateful for all you've done for me. Like, I was kind of on my own for the first time after college, and I had all this emotion just come up for me, and like a lot of releasing and a lot of darkness. I saw a lot of things with like when I was young with my siblings, my brother, how I was like, maybe I was, mean to him at certain times. I just saw a lot of my past and how I was the way I was. So aside from letting go of these things, the very first thing I ever did when this journey for me began, that was a huge part of it. Letting go of all these, it wasn't all at once, but a lot of it was. It was some of it was gradual, some of it was all at once. But when we let go of these things, we can free up space for our new passions to come in. Maybe for me, it was like reading books. And my main point, I think at the end of this video here, was that with letting go of these things, I also made it a priority to slow down. I came across this dude named Joe Dispenza. now he's huge, but 8 years ago he wasn't, I guess, as big. And I watched his videos, I listened to his guided meditations, and this guy blew my mind. And talking about how our thoughts create our reality, our thoughts, emotions, and actions create our reality. And I was like, holy crap, like, my thoughts are actually real. My thoughts are real energy forms that I can't see, but they actually go out of my body, and they actually have an effect on matter, and they have an effect on my reality. I was like, no way. Because I wasn't taught this in school at all. So I was like, all right, I need to slow down, and I made it a priority to just commit every single day to slowing down and observing my thoughts. I spent 10 minutes every single day for a number of years, probably for about 4 or 5 years. I really didn't miss a day at all, I don't think. And I just took 10 minutes in the morning and I observed my thoughts. That's all I did. And that single task alone, I would say the value is enormous. I can't even put it into words because of just how I began to feel. My anxiety went away. I began to feel more confident in myself. I began to find safety and peace inside myself that was never there before, ever. And I stopped relying on people outside of me or money or like different hobbies. I stopped relying on things to help me feel secure, and I began to feel secure inside myself. This took years, but it was the biggest thing for me. So letting go of these habits and slowing down and observing my thoughts, these are two of the many things I'll be covering in this video series. But for me, this has been the most powerful two things to go from feeling stuck and lost and totally unconscious autopilot living to now having a family, having a lot more success, having a lot to look forward to in my life. This is possible for all of us. I'll be sharing a lot more on this video series about my journey, many things I've learned, trials, tribulations, and I hope you choose to follow me and stick along for this video series. It'll be very valuable for you. I'll be sharing a lot more things you can do. What you can do right now is think of things, what can you let go of, maybe to create some more space in your life, things to let go of physically, maybe habits, bad behaviors, patterns, and also can you take some more time? Listen, we're all busy, all of us have busy lives, lots to do, but can you take some more time perhaps to observe your thoughts and to slow down? If you already have both these things happening, then that's freaking awesome. And I want to commend you for doing this work, for doing the shadow work, and to help yourself and help this planet become a better place. Thank you for watching, my friend. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe down below and also share this video with a friend if you think that this video series will also help them as well. All right, take care and much love.